Without objection, the gentlelady is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to talk today about Flight 3407 that crashed in Buffalo, New York, 7 years ago tomorrow. This plane crashed inside of the runway on an icy February night. We learned that the pilot and the co-pilot had never been trained at all, flown into any icy situation, and that the young woman, co-pilot, had flown in the night before from Seattle. And she was paid so little, around $13,000 a year, that she could not afford a motel room to sleep, and so she slept on the floor somewhere. You could hear on the black box before the crash, you could hear them yawning. In that plane crash were two of the best musicians in the United States, a woman who knew more about Rwanda and the problems than anybody else, and one of the most extraordinary anthropologists in the world. They died because these pilots had no idea of how they were going to fly in those conditions. The Colgan Air, their owners, trying to take some responsibility, but we worked with the families of the people who died on that plane, have selflessly come down here for 7 years, and we finally got some regulation through the FAA of how much training they had to have, that at least the pilot or the co-pilot had to have some hours of flying time behind them that would be of some use. Now, we're facing an FAA bill here today where they are trying to undo those safety regulations. It absolutely applies to every last in the United States, but for goodness sakes, I implore my colleagues not to let it happen, that those regulations would be weakened, and once more we would be flying people with subsistence wages, unable to really cope with the weather or the elements. We deserve better than that in this century. I yield back.
Gentlelady's time is expired.